this is PR Frank, and today we're going to talk about selection techniques. In Photoshop, all of the images are made of pixels, and that's the main point, is to be able to select things well. So if you look at this lesson as a detailed explanation of how to select things, you should be pretty successful in doing what you want to do in Photoshop. Here we have a stop sign that says smile, and I'm going to try the use of the quick selection tool. And the way the quick selection tool works is, if you start on this first one up here in the options bar, you'll see it says new selection. So I just start clicking and dragging, and you'll notice that the selection stops where the color changes. So as I move around and continue to drag my quick selection tool onto different sets of pixels, they get selected. Let's come down the pole a little bit. I can reduce the size of my brush once again by using the bracket keys. If something doesn't get selected well, I can hold down the Alt key, turns to minus. I could also switch over to the subtract selection up here. But now we have a really nice selection of that stop sign along with the pole. One of the things that you can do when you have a selection is you can come down here and click on this mask button. And what the mask does is it takes that selection and it creates a small black and white mask next to the image on that layer. And what you can see is everything that you can see is white and everything that's hidden is black. So white reveals and black hides in the case of this mask. So that's a pretty simple technique. You just have to be careful to only put the brush where you want to make a selection. The other thing we can do with this is we can come in here underneath the quick selection tool is the magic wand tool. And that's good if you have one area of solid color. Let's say we wanted to turn the letters of the word smile into a different color or make a selection of it. Well, if we just click inside of one of these, you can see it gets selected. Sometimes you have to mess with the tolerance up here. Usually this tolerance is just set to 10. I think 10 would probably work in this situation. If we just click inside of the M, now the M is selected. But as you can see, there are some parts that didn't quite get selected because they're a slightly different white color than the rest of it. So that's why we might want to bump the tolerance up. Let me try 50. And now it's a pretty nice selection along the edges of the M. And you'll notice it's only getting one letter at a time. That's because up here in the options bar, contiguous is checked, and that means everything that's connected to that same color will get selected. But we uncheck it, and now when we select it, everything that is that color gets selected. As you can see, even the outside of the stop sign gets selected along with that. So we have each letter gets selected because it's this range of white, and the outside does. However, some of these little screws and some of the scratches on the stop sign don't get selected, but that's okay. So now what we can do with that is we can come in here to our adjustment layer and add a solid color. And let's say we wanted to change that to a nice yellow, to sort of give it like that McDonald's smile feel. And now we have recolored that sign by using the magic wand tool to select all those white areas. Of course, we can touch those up any way we wish. If we want to add more or subtract more, we could either do it again or we could mess with our mask. Masking is a whole other lesson though. So there we go.